everyone. This is my first time public speaking ever, so just bear with me. All right, so to start, did you know that in this moment, over 800 million people are on their period worldwide? So maybe a few of us present here today also are included in that statistic. So today I wanted to talk about menstrual health in young people in our community. All right. My name is Liz, I'm a graphic designer and I live in the Macedon Ranges, and I have a keen interest in menstrual health. I'd like to firstly acknowledge that not all people who experience the menstrual cycle identify as a woman, as Lorgel and Maddie very nicely set the scene for. And not all women will experience a menstrual cycle in their lifetimes. You may hear me refer to people with a menstrual cycle as a menstruator. This is to include all our trans and gender diverse friends in this conversation. So to begin, I would like to quickly share a little excerpt from Elisa Vitti's book, In the Flow, which along with Maisie Hill's Period Power, sparked my journey into learning more about the menstrual cycle more deeply. So Elisa Vitti says, "The female reproductive system is the crowning achievement of human evolution and reproduction. Efficient and highly adaptable, 7 hormones work in a symphonic relationship to cause 4 highly refined processes to take place in a given monthly cycle. This is the development of multiple follicles, ovulation, the building of the lining of the uterus to prepare for possible conception, and the release of that lining when the conception does not occur." So I love this first part of Vitti's definition because it is both informative and also exciting, so calling it a crowning achievement makes it feel very validating. As young people, many of us have been taught to view our reproductive cycle as shameful, something to ignore and forget about. Many of us were embarrassed while learning about this actually incredible process that our bodies go through. Some of us may have been told we were just hormonal when we were experiencing changes during puberty that are actually entirely normal and expected. But the question is, why do I think the menstrual cycle is so incredible in the first place? For me, it's because the cycle reflects a person's overall health and well-being, often called the 5th vital sign, among our blood pressure, pulse, respiration rate, and body temperature. This is because the menstrual cycle influences and is influenced by many different processes in our bodies. This includes your sleep, what and how much you eat, and what your exercise routine looks like. According to womenshealth.gov, regular periods between puberty and menopause mean your body is working normally. Your periods and menstrual health thrive when you exercise regularly, fuel your body with appropriate foods and nutrients, and take time for your mental wellness. The cycle works by releasing hormones via the endocrine system that tell the body how and when to change systems and processes. It's all automated, so you don't even have to think about it, which, how amazing is that? Hormones are sensitive though, so they can fairly easily fall out of balance, especially when the foods and lifestyle options that we have available today in our modern society are something that you indulge in. So if your hormones do become imbalanced, the menstruator might experience changes to the cycle, which might be heavier bleeds, or none at all, cramps, or irritability, to name a few. This is the body's way of telling you that something is wrong, something is off inside. Presently, menstruators who experience these symptoms are often shamed, ignored, belittled, or told to just go on the pill. The pill is often a quick fix that doctors prescribe to stop undesirable symptoms, and you may be surprised to learn that it does this by shutting off the entire menstrual cycle. Yes, you heard that right. The pill turns off your entire menstrual cycle, that 5th vital sign that is a reflection of your health and well-being. Poof, gone. When I discovered this while reading, I was taken aback. I thought to myself, what? How could they just shut it down? I was angry, upset. At that point, I had been on the pill for many years. unaware that I had entirely suppressed my menstrual cycle. My doctor had never even mentioned that the period that you experience on the pill is fake. It's actually called a withdrawal bleed. It was included in the original design of the pill so that women wouldn't freak out for not having that monthly bleed anymore, which is actually a result of being designed by men who've never actually experienced what it's like to be a menstruator. I'd like to quickly note here that I'm not anti-pill or against taking the pill at all. I have taken it myself for many years. It has done wonderful things for women's rights and freedoms as well, but I think we should be realistic about why we are prescribing it, and perhaps whether it should be the go-to option for young people with menstrual struggles. As I learned more and more, I discovered that when your menstrual cycle is healthy and your hormones are balanced, you can add practices into your life that allow you to live in alignment with the cycle. The menstrual cycle has natural and surprisingly very predictable fluctuations in both energy levels and motivation levels throughout the 4 phases. Through this journey, I felt excited about these possibilities, but I was also feeling robbed. How could I be only learning this now? What about all of those people who've gone their entire lives without knowing about this information? For example, a fun fact that could have been benefiting me this whole time, throughout especially my formative years as a menstruator, is for about 1 to 2 weeks before and during your period, your body needs more nutrients. So it's natural to eat more food during this time than the 2 weeks before when you are ovulating, which is releasing an egg. You're also more likely to be drawn to warmer, heartier foods and lighter exercises during this time. This would have been so validating to know about back when I was very conscious of my body as a teen, confused about why I was suddenly hungrier this week at lunchtime, when last week I was fine with the same amount of food. I shared some of these insights with my mum and a few friends. They began to notice the predictability of their cycle phases too. I want young menstruators to experience this deep personal understanding about their cycle from earlier on, so they don't have to feel the way I and potentially some of the people in this room feel about how we've been taught to think about our cycles. I would love to see a world where women can understand their bodies beyond the simple, getting my period means I didn't get pregnant this month, and use their cycles to their advantage. After all, it's there anyway, doing the most for us, when we have been actively ignoring and suppressing it. So how? Improving education around the phases of the cycle and what each means, as well as educating young people about what hormonal contraception actually does to the cycle, means that our future menstruators will be able to make better informed decisions about their precious health and well-being. So here's my proposal. As I am a graphic designer, I have plans to design an app that young menstruators can use to track not only their cycle, but also receive education about their health with fun and exciting features such as mood tracking and forecasting, access to nearby healthcare practices, and more. I surveyed some young menstruators in their teens to late 20s to get a sense of what is missing in the current market. People like when their app was easy to use, with lots of options for tracking, quality predictions about their cycle, and a history log for previous tracking data. It was found that a lot of apps were lacking in their insights, and the variety of tracking options could be improved, as well as better educational resources. The surveys found that hearing stories of people who have gone through similar experiences or different experiences to someone's own was very inspiring and helped people feel more motivated to ask for help. The main point of difference for this app compared to other similar apps on the market is the focus on cyclical syncing and being an incredibly personalised educational resource. The interface will be gender neutral and discreet, so menstruators feel like they don't need to hide it when tracking in public spaces. The target market is primarily menstruators in their teens and 20s, but the app will be valuable to anyone who wants to sync with their cycle as well. Overall, my goal is to enable young people to learn about their health and their cycle, track experiences and receive personalised predictions, elevate their voices through sharing their stories, and help them get in touch with the natural ebbs and flows of their powerful infradian rhythm to teach them to reach their potential in all aspects of their lives. I do have a full list of features, but I am open to suggestions too. Please, if you have any ideas for this project, feel free to add them in the Slido or see me afterwards as well. Most of all, I need help in getting it developed so that I can make it accessible to as many people as possible. If you're interested in working on a project like this with me, I would love to hear from you. The name of the project is Grow with the Flow, with no W's. You can see my little logo there. And you can find me online on this QR code on the screen. To close off, I would love to leave you with this idea that learning about your biology and how it works is an act of self-care that shows that you're taking an initiative with your health and well-being that both you and the people in your life can benefit from. Thank you.